Greetings, brothers and sisters in Christ. Welcome to the channel. Welcome back to the channel. It is always good to have you here with me. It is always good to be here with you. Now let's get into it. Now, church requires monthly payments for membership and sends collection notice if you do not pay. This is what happened to this woman. And many times we hear these stories of things that, and I'm talking about people that are not familiar of the things that really happen in false churches. But many times we hear these stories and testimonies of people talking about notice being sent to them, or pastors asking them, or people of that office, the financial side, asking about not showing their tithes or offerings or whatever the case may be. This is a perfect example of some of the things that are taking place in many of these churches.
To be a member in good standing and have the right to vote, adults are to contribute the minimum amount of $50 per month.
It was from the church saying she was delinquent in her financial support.
People was very friendly there, and I really enjoyed being there.
Candace Peterson says finding the Greater Mount Moriah Primitive Baptist Church was a blessing. The single mother had been looking for a church closer to her new home, and 6 months in, things were going perfect. That is until this letter arrived at her home late last week.
To be a member in good standing and have the right to vote, adults are to contribute the minimum amount of $50 per month.
It was from the church saying she was delinquent in her financial support.
$50 per month. Now this shocked me because I haven't heard about the $50 per month. So where did you get this from? Then Mount Moriah Day is on there, $150.
The letter also says Peterson would be responsible for a church anniversary fee of $250.
Now, I've heard of many stories like these, and it goes to show that these churches are not preaching what they're supposed to be preaching, because their intention and their aim is to get rich and have money. It is basically the prosperity gospel. It is basically the prosperity gospel. Now, should we give tithings? Should we pay our tithes? Should we pay our offerings? Yes, we should, because this is something that is required. But the thing about it is bombarded by the church in terms of paying the tithes and offering. We should not be bombarded by the church to do these things. Yes, it should be preached, because everything is in the scriptures should be preached. But at the end of the day, if you do not pay your tithes or give offerings, it should be between you and God, not between you and the church or the pastors or the preachers. It is between you and God, because God knows directly and definitely how much it is you're making and how much you should give. And God knows these things, and we cannot hide anything from him. So the bottom line is, this should be between the individual and God. And being in First Church that I'm in right now, sometimes the usher would ask the members not to put their names on envelopes when they are paying their tithes, or whatever. Do not write your name on it. And it is quite understandable why some people might do this. It's because they're coming from different churches, and this is what they're used to. So to come in First Church and realize this is not how it's done, and it is a constant thing, because people are always coming in all the time. Because when you learn about the truth and God pricked your heart and open up your understanding, for many people, they just can't continue in the false church. They have to come out. So it is something that will definitely have to be talked about, and for the ushers to remind the saints, or even tell the ones that are just coming in, not to put their names on the envelope. And with something like this, it goes to show that if a person or individual does not or do not pay their tithes for some period of time, the church won't know. The one that's supposed to know will know. And at the end of the day, that is all that matter. What God says. It is simple. Let's think about going to church and everything that you do is to please your church, really and truly. Not to say you shouldn't please your church, because there are rules and there are laws that governs the church, that is not necessarily doctrine. As long as it is in keeping, that is fine. But for the most part, we should do the things that we're supposed to do to please God, and not necessarily the church per se. And as I've said before, of course, there are rules, there are law that governs the church, but we should strive to please God first and foremost. So throwing your tithes, paying your tithes, giving offerings, this is something that you must do. This is something that is required of us all. And it is not necessarily like, for instance, this woman was talking about $50 per month. It doesn't go like that. It all depends on how much your gross salary is. It is 10% of that, you know. And of course, to go a little bit deeper, it doesn't necessarily have to be money. It can be land. It can be many other things. It can be many other things. So this thing, people, we need to wise up, be in the know, and understand all of these things that many of the churches out there are doing. It is just simply not of God. Thank you for watching, brothers and sisters. Until next time, peace be.